We just finished track testing the all-new 2022 KTM RC 390, which receives a major sport-inspired overhaul for the 2022 model year. What that means is it gets a number of premium functional changes that really raise the level of performance of the RC 390 while remaining budget conscious and approachable to all levels of riders. Now, the highlights of that overhaul is an updated power plant, a revised chassis, and a first-in-class electronic rider aid package, and a number of premium fit and finish details. Now, the emphasis of the overhaul is the KTM RC 390's chassis. KTM has really focused on optimizing the rigidity of this chassis while also focusing on weight savings. The wheels save 7.5 pounds of unsprung mass, while the rear subframe shaves off an additional 3 pounds. On the Cycle World scales, fully fueled, this KTM RC 390 weighs 365 pounds. Out on the racetrack, you're really gonna feel the difference in that unsprung mass that we already mentioned. This motorcycle is superb at shredding from side to side transitions and pinpoint precision in the middle of the corner. You look where you wanna go, you add the inputs, and it follows right along. Now, another huge highlight of the KTM RC 390's chassis is the WP Apex fork at the front end and the WP shock at the rear. Now, the fork offers 30 clicks of adjustability in both compression and rebound damping, while the shock offers preload and rebound adjustability as well. Now, that's a huge highlight considering this is a budget-conscious Supersport and all of its competitors usually feature non-adjustable suspension, or at least a little bit of preload adjustability in the rear. The fact that KTM has given this essentially full adjustability is remarkable. The balance of the suspension is superb. Out on the racetrack, it offers a good level of feel and understanding of what's happening underneath you and controlling a lot of those large inputs and bumps that you find out on a racetrack while remaining supple and gliding over the asphalt in a very smooth manner. Even the OE-equipped Conti Road tires offer superb grip out on the racetrack, and truthfully, I was really surprised by how well these coped with a day of riding. We were hammering on these things and had no issues of slip whatsoever. Truthfully, the only thing holding the RC 390 back on the racetrack was the ground clearance of the foot pegs. You deck it over on its side and it's constantly grinding and sliding along the asphalt. Should you put an aftermarket set of rear sets, you're gonna be able to deck this RC 390 even further and push the envelope of performance. Now, for the first time on the KTM RC 390, KTM has utilized a 3-directional inertial measurement unit. What that does is it offers a lean angle sensitive cornering ABS system of the bi-bray components. Out on the racetrack, I was truthfully amazed with the intervention of the ABS system, or lack thereof, pushing and hammering off into corners and pulling on the brake lever. There was very, very minimal intervention at the front brake lever, and it inspired a lot of confidence to push deeper into the corner. The KTM RC 390 is also equipped with KTM's Supermoto ABS setting, which disables the ABS function at the rear wheel and allows for hacking in rear slides. The 2022 KTM RC 390 utilizes the same 373cc dual overhead cam single-cylinder engine as the past, but receives a number of updates at improving its performance, including a 40% larger airbox, revised exhaust system, and dedicated engine mapping. After our track testing, we threw it up on the Cycle World dyno, where it recorded a peak 40.4 horsepower and 24.6 pound-feet of torque. For reference, that's nearly identical to the last RC 390 that we had up on our dyno. That's a balance of power that all riders can enjoy. It's super trackable, super rider friendly, but encompasses enough power that can be enjoyed by seasoned veterans. It's all about momentum on the RC 390, keeping your RPM up, keeping the speed up, and really extracting the top end of this motorcycle. Out on our racetrack test, we clicked just about 100 miles an hour, battling it out with the other moto journalists, and we had a blast. For the first time, the KTM RC 390 is also equipped with a switchable traction control system. This is either on or off. There is no selectable setting of traction control. Truthfully, on a motorcycle with modest power delivery, traction control is not necessarily needed, but it is nice to have in your back pocket, especially if you're less experienced riders getting yourself into tricky conditions or even wet roads. If there is one disappointment about the KTM RC 390 on the racetrack is the inconsistency of its 6-speed gearbox. You had to be very deliberate getting your shifts because we had a number of missed shifts throughout our day. You would click it into gear and it would fall back into the previous gear or hit false neutrals as you hammer off into a corner, which really is the last thing you want when pushing the envelope of performance. Our test unit was fitted with the quick shifter offered in KTM's Power Parts accessory catalog. Disabling the quick shifter did not eliminate the problem, but relieved it in some sense. Still, the gearbox needs refinement. Of course, with a race-inspired change comes new bodywork for this RC 390 with big inspiration from KTM's RC16 MotoGP project. The shapes and aerodynamics of the bodywork are really optimized to be as efficient as possible, which is a big contributing factor to speed on a small displacement Supersport. Wind protection is vastly improved and tucking behind the bubble offers a very smooth pocket of air on the straightaway. Likewise, the shape of the tank has been revised for more contact area with the knees as the capacity is increased as well from 2.6 gallons up to 3.6. Finally, and also adding to the premium fit and finish of the KTM RC 390 is a new Tft Display that offers easy, readable, important riding information while you're out on the racetrack. At $5,799, the 2022 KTM RC 390 really takes a step forward. KTM has revised the chassis and given it a ton of composure and flickability out on the racetrack. A top-tier electronic rider aids package is super nice to see in a budget-conscious machine, and the overall performance is really well balanced. If there's one downfall is that gearbox that we talked about, but overall KTM has really upped the quality of the RC 390 and really is setting a new benchmark in terms of performance for the small bore Supersport category while remaining an option for both the most experienced track rider and the first-time motorcycle rider. That's it for our time aboard the 2022 KTM RC 390. I hope that you guys liked this video. If you did, give us a like, comment, we want to hear from you, and subscribe to the Cycle World YouTube channel. Head over to cycleworld.com to read the full story, and we'll see you guys next time.